Okay, this time I'm going to give you some clarification and hints on exercise 10 and the challenge problem, which are actually kind of related. So here you want to do something, so it gives you an example of two character arrays. It's going to test them for equality, um, but these are not going to be equal. You want to have this; they need to have the same elements in the same order, and of course, be the same length. So most of the work you need to do, you can use this part to test it, but most of the work for this needs to be done down here in the actual method. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to compare to see if they're the same length. If they're not the same length, then you can just return false. So you can just do if, let's see, a dot length not equal to b dot length, then if they're not the same length, they can't be equal. And therefore, you just return false. Being of the same length is not enough to indicate that they're true, but then what you need to do is you got to write a for loop, and the for loop will check character by character. And so you're going to check each char. So for example, it'd be like something like is a I equal to bi for all of them. And if it's true for all of them, then you have something that works. Again, that's obviously not the right format, but hopefully it's enough to get you the idea. You check the length first. If it passes the length check, then you can go ahead and check element by element to make sure that they're exactly the same. Then, once you have that equals, you've completed 10. And if you can do that, if you can do 1 through 10 and do them well, you're good. I would like you to try the challenge. But the challenge, basically, you're trying to do a while loop to see how many times it would take to randomly get a password. So let's think about that. So let's first start with a password. So you could do a character array, which is a password. I'll call it PWD. And let's say that our password is, I'm just going to copy something from up here. All right, let's just say it's ABC. All right, simple password. Then what you would do is you're going to need to make a while loop, and you're going to use the equals method that you have down here. So it'll be something like while not equals, if I could spell right, that would help. While not equals, and you're going to have another one for guess, and one for password. Okay, so those are going to be your two arrays. While they're not equal, then you're just going to keep guessing. But I guess by this technique, you're going to have to guess outside at least once. Actually, what you could do is make a guess up here. And you can make your initial guess here, call it guess. Obviously, you don't want it to be the same. You could just make it an empty array of length 3 and then just keep checking. So if you wanted to do that, you just do new char, right? Like something like that. And then you can just keep in here, inside the loop, you're going to keep doing different random guesses. So in other words, you're going to pick 3 different random characters and put them into the array and see if they match exactly. They happen to match ABC. You're also going to need some kind of counter to keep track of how many overall. Each time you do another guess, you're going to increment your counter. And at the end, you want to print out how many times it takes to randomly pick this password. And you can see, the point is that longer passwords are a lot harder to crack. If you have a 3-letter password, it doesn't take that long in the scheme of things to guess what it is. Anyway, that's the basic structure of what you should be doing for number 10 and for the challenge problem. And the challenge problem is that, if you don't get it, then go ahead and submit. But I would like you to give it a try, because I think it's an interesting example, and it illustrates a bigger concept that you would get into later. So that's all. Hope that helps. Thank you.